time, I'm going to drive down there and beat your 1907 face in with a 1947 typewriter right across the 59th Street Bridge to the New York University Medical Center. Stop it.
You know, I was reading your column. I read
every mail that comes along. I mean, I've sent him to doggy school. For the cost of doggy school, I could have sent him to Yale for an entire semester.
Aren't animals bisexual, Charles? Most of them?
There are some animals that do exhibit bisexual behavior. But
I think you got to lighten up.
I think it's infrequent, though.
Why did you buy the dog? For the kids?
For the kids, yeah. The dog has eaten 3 Ford Escorts, an entire dining room set.
Yeah.
His doggy doo-doos are bigger than a baby's head.
That'll be
They're
fine.
all over the house.
That'll be fine. God, please stop this. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Same to you, buddy.
Mike Barnacle, Boston Globe, 16 till the hour now. Right here now, Imus in Washington, Senior Military Affairs Advisor, the late General George S. Patton.
At ease, as you were, maggots. We'll begin today's briefing by playing a little Jeopardy. Listen up. Category, things that crawl from beneath rocks. And the answer is, belongs in Allenwood. This lying, money-laundering, former tobacco industry insider is recorded history's single biggest fraud. Yes, private. And remember to frame your response in the form of a question.
Sir, who is Al Gore, sir?
You, Private, are a winner on the General's Jeopardy. Congratulations. As your battlefield leader, I thought we had suffered our worst humiliation, sod bugs, in having one William Jefferson Clinton as our commander-in-chief. A self-serving, two-faced, double-talking, one-man class action sexual harassment civil case. I was wrong. Our worst humiliation is just the mere thought that same office might be occupied one day by Albert Gore, a federal officer who, by comparison, makes William J. Clinton look like Jesus P. Christ. There is no way, bagworms, to overstate or even estimate the evil that resides within this Tennessee bacterium that now infects the highest echelon of our government like a deer tick settled on the back end of a ferret. And now, this is the heir apparent, we're told, to Bill Clinton. Actually, as I think about it, what could be more natural? Albert Gore Jr. following Bill Clinton as, say, John Gotti Jr. followed John Gotti. There is hope, however, because when they turn up the lights on this vice president who would be president, I suspect they'll find so much material for investigation that there couldn't be enough independent counsels to appoint, even if every man, woman, and child in the country had a damn law degree. Most recent outrage from the sanctimonious sap, his assertion that the Attorney General's latest perverted interpretation of law cleared him of everything up to and including original sin. And after watching his nauseatingly unctuous performance reacting to our esteemed AG's abdication of her duty, I thought they'd have to put the son of a bitch in a body cast for injuries sustained in going down on himself. Albert Gore, people, is the paradigm of creep. I wonder if he's run out of family tragedies to campaign on, or whether he's banking on some deliverance-looking third cousin to have his head blown off by an airbag to give him an issue. All right, remove your anti-Al slogans from your this shall not stand media kits, and let's read her off in unison. Ready, everybody? Sound off. Slam the door on political whore Gore. Right you are, people, because the only thing Al Gore is qualified to be president of is R.J. Reynolds. Thank you for your attention. That is all.
Bullets coach Bernie Bickerstaff.
What does a two-guard mean? What does that mean?
Shooting guard.
And what's the other guard do?
Point guard.
Who brings the ball up the court?
The point guard.
Can the two-guard ever bring the ball up the court?
Certainly.
Does he?
Yes, frequently.
Can the two guard give the ball to the one guard to let the one guard shoot when the two guard doesn't want it or something?
Yes, that can happen.
Oh, okay.
If it wasn't for basketball, it'll be security guards.
How did they decide that it was the one and two guards?
Whoever's the
Yeah, that will be fine.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
All right, here on line 5 is Howard Stern. I see just called in. Good morning, Howard.
Hey, bro, your show's been great lately.
Oh, thank you.
Orrin Hatch, Robert Reich. Hey, when's Doris Kearns Goodwin coming on again? I want to prepare for that one. I want to move to North Dakota so it'll be easier for me to drown myself. Doris Kearns Goodwin. She's a historian, right?
Yeah.
So what's the reason she's on your show? She doing research for another Lincoln book?
98.1 The Peak. WPEK.
Who are mildly upset at my brother. A third of the employees at the Auto Body Express are Hispanic, and they make twice minimum wage. Plus, they get health benefits.
Hello.
Case closed. I mean, shut up. Now, here's another thing I'm irritated about, why my brother doesn't make any money, is because you see this eye shirt I have on?
Yes.
They have 4 of these now in 4 colors. They have the burgundy that I have on, the navy blue I had on yesterday, the khaki, and the forest green. They're gorgeous shirts. I mean, they're just the best shirt I've ever worn. It got this little slight Western accent to it. Past the hour, Fred Imus is on the phone now, live from Santa Fe, New Mexico, appearing here on behalf of your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer, although we would encourage you to go to any dealer in the country and buy a Jeep. Fred's on the phone now. Good morning, Fred.
Hey, what's going on?
Coming up later, Mike Francesa and Warner Wolf and Warner, Fred, and Mike will all pick the pro football games. And I heard from Boomer Esiason earlier this morning, Fred.
Yes, you did.
And my brother, I was trying to talk to my brother about a serious issue last evening.
Yeah.
And my brother interrupted me, wanting to talk about Boomer Esiason, didn't you?
Yeah, because
Hello?
Phoenix would be 10-3 instead of 3-10 if they hadn't got rid of him. He's playing the best he's ever played.
Well,
the future isn't now. If the future is now, then why didn't they keep Boomer?
I don't know. Didn't he have a couple bad games there or something?
Before he got his rhythm back, yeah. I mean, he wasn't playing that much, and then when he got his rhythm back, he's unstoppable. Right now he's playing better than any quarterback in the league.
My brother, a Boomer Esiason butt boy. Here's Chuck now with the national news. Good morning, Charles.
Morning, I-Man. There are continued signs of this ugliness between President Clinton and FBI Director Louis Freeh, or at least between the FBI and the White House. For the second time this week, White House Press Secretary Mike
Georgia, by 3 over Georgia Tech.
Okay. Right.
So my advice to NBA players, if you're going to beat the coach up, do the job then. Don't come back for seconds.
Don't come back 15 minutes later.
Right. Just beat them to a pulp right then on the court during practice, and then go on about your business, you know?
I think that these players should beat up the coaches during the games. You know, when the coach gets in your face. And could you stop breathing into the phone, Fred, do you think?
Stop breathing.
No, not stop breathing, but I mean just, God.
Where should I breathe?
I don't know, but I mean, go ahead, Charles.
What a jerk.
You're a jerk.
You're a jerk. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, no, obviously. Go ahead and do it. God, well, this is pathetic.
That's our loss.
Back to you.
Go ahead, Charles.
All right. A military medical examiner believes a skull wound sustained by the late Commerce Secretary Ron Brown was suspicious. Air Force Lieutenant Steve Cogswell believes an autopsy should have been performed on Mr. Brown after Brown died in a 1996 plane crash in Croatia. Authorities concluded Brown's injuries were sustained during that accident and no autopsy was conducted. But Cogswell says the head wound, quote, deserved further investigation. He suggests the wound could have been caused by a bullet from a .45 caliber gun. Says an account of his views in a Pennsylvania newspaper this week has caused a stir among his superiors in the Air Force. The Armed Forces Institute of Pathology and the pathologist who examined Brown did not believe the head wound was caused by a bullet. As the Institute spokesperson puts it, quote, this is a closed case. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright wants to know how much West Bank territory Israel is willing to cede to the Palestinians. But Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says he won't give specifics when the two meet in Paris today.
I can answer that question. None.
You're probably right. On Sunday, Israel's cabinet approved ceding more territory to the Palestinians without saying how much. A senior Israeli official says Netanyahu expects to be pressured by Albright on that issue. 5 people wounded today when Israeli soldiers fired live bullets at stone-throwing Palestinian protesters. The clash took place outside a refugee camp in southern Gaza. An Associated Press television cameraman was shot in the hand. The UN Security Council is extending Iraq's oil for food program another 6 months. The program lets Saddam sell limited amounts of oil to buy supplies, vital supplies for his people. Russia and France argued for an increase in the amount that could be sold, but they agreed then to wait for Secretary General Kofi Annan's recommendation next month. He insists he has yet to make up his mind about it.
I know that there have been rumors floating that I had agreed to recommend $4 billion or $3 billion. I don't know where it started. I had never had any such intention because I realized the complexity of the problem and the fact that we needed to take a look at it comprehensively.
I could see Kofi hooked up with Winnie Mandela. Can you?
Well, Nelson Mandela.
No, I can't. No, I cannot. I can't see that. No. White House officials say they have no objections to raising the ceiling on the amount of oil that Baghdad is able to sell.
Have you seen these pictures of Joseph Aboud, Fred?
Yes, I have.
Modeling your clothes.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with that?
No, very uncomfortable.
Tomorrow on the Today Show, the
Just
weekend.
a geek, isn't he?
Tomorrow on the Weekend Today Show, Joseph Abuda is going to show. Well, he makes beautiful clothes.
Yeah, he absolutely does.
And tomorrow between 8:30 and 9 on Eastern Time on the Today Show, the Weekend Today Show with Jack Ford and Jody Applegate. They're going to have a fashion show in front of that stupid Christmas tree over there at Rockefeller Center. And
Yeah.
I imagine Abud will be there, won't he?
Probably so.
Have you ever seen one of Abud's catalogs, his own catalogs?
No.
He's on every page.
Is he?
He models everything, even the women's clothes. Doesn't that surprise me?
And we had Fred on the phone, and he's already put in pretty much of a dreadful performance, but he's going to pick some football games with
Good.
Mike Francesa and Warner Wolf.
That's
So
great.
all that stuff is coming up. Well, here now, filling in for Sydney Little Barrels
Yes.
and answering the very questions I was going to ask her is my brother, Fred Imus from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Good morning, Fred.
Good morning.
What would you say were men's top sexual turn-ons, Fred?
Oral sex?
Oral sex?
Yeah.
What would you say would be a big turn-off?
No oral sex.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the morning.
And Boomer said, well, I'm only 34, and people like Dan Marino, and he named a couple other quarterbacks who are still playing.
Yeah.
I didn't bother to point out to Boomer that he does not have Dan Marino's arm.
He doesn't have Bob Dole's arm, for crying out loud.
Oh, Jesus, God almighty.
Get out of the business.
Come on. I mean, what the hell are you thinking about?
98.1 The Peak. WPEK.
The Milos.
On the Imus the Morning program, live from Santa Fe, New Mexico, we have been chatting with my brother, Fred Imus, who's appearing on behalf of your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers and has put in a lousy performance so
Well, you
far.
keep asking me questions, and then you have me on hold, so there's no way I can answer you.
Well, that's probably, you know what, Lou's probably Lou probably has recognized that we're just not going to get anything out of you, so.
Well, you're definitely not going to get anything if I can't speak back.
Yeah, well.
I had some good stuff, too, man, and you couldn't hear it.
Well.
I used all my good stuff up.
What, talking to yourself on the phone, is that the way that works?
Well, I was trying to answer you.
Oh, okay. Also, here now on the Imus Morning program, the sports doctor. He's the host of, co-host of the Mike and the Mad Dog program here at WFAN in New York, and he has a nationally syndicated football show, he says, on Sunday morning, syndicated around the country. Our guy, Mike Francesa. Good morning, Mr. Francesa.
Good morning, Don.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Fine.
I'm a little ticked off with you, though, Don.
What's the matter?
Your take on Sprewell and PJ is reprehensible, you know that?
Why?
It's just reprehensible. If big-mouthed white guys in positions of authority should get beat up, you would have been dead 15 years ago.
And also here this morning with us is Warner Wolf, who's they're all going to pick the football games. But here's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Francesa.
Yep.
Warner Wolf still thinks Y.A. Tittle's playing. Why should I have to be on and pick games with him?
Warner.
What, he quit?
How about Warner's 620? If that didn't disqualify him, nothing ever will. You know that?
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
Green called Warner and said, "Could you believe this guy? I'm going to ask for a raise."
Anyway.
And Frances is a Parcel butt boy.
Yeah.
Oh, Fred, listen.
And they own race horses together.
Yeah.
Everybody knows owners bet on race horses.
Yeah.
How far is it? How big a stretch is it from going to betting on race horses to betting on games, especially if you have inside information?
Fred, go see if you can bring in a bottle of sauce from the $39.95, okay?
So here we got a guy I'm on with a guy who doesn't know who's playing and a guy that may be betting on games from inside information. It needs to be investigated.
All right, well,
factoring all. Fred perked up here.
Anyway, well, let's start with who's your first pick, Fred?
My first pick is Buffalo over Chicago.
Buffalo.
Who cares, Fred?
Who cares, Fred? Come
Jeez,
on.
Fred.
Get him out.
Why don't you pick the Saint game while you're at it?
Okay, forget that one now.
The future is now,
I was
Fred.
like, what are you talking
The future
about?
is not now, Warner, because if the future was now, Boomer Esiason would be with Phoenix, and Phoenix would be 10-3 instead of 3-10.
Hey, I heard Boomer this morning. Fred's wrong again. Boomer's great as long as his team is 2-8 or 4-9. If the game counts, he stinks.
He's playing the best of his career.
Yeah, the game doesn't count. His team's already eliminated. He's great in those games. When the games counted, he was awful for the Jets. Come on,
Well, I guess
Fred.
that's a game you didn't bet on.
I wouldn't bet on any game you picked.
All right, Fred. All right, Fred, you're picking the Bears over the Bills, right?
No, I'm picking the Bills over the Bears.
In a game that nobody cares about. God, who cares?
People in Buffalo.
Fred, you couldn't pick the Bill quarterback out of a lineup. You know that?
All right, what's your next game,
Ryan
Fred?
Sipes, the quarterback for the Bills, isn't he?
Daryl LaMonica.
All right, Fred, what's your next pick?
Pittsburgh over Denver.
The Pittsburgh Steelers over Denver. Mike, what do you think?
I like Pittsburgh. I agree with him.
Warner?
No, I think Denver will win
Oh,
that
great.
game.
Now we're a lock.
No, come
Don't just
on.
get one headed the other way. That's all you need.
How could you possibly, either one of you, pick the Steelers over the Broncos? Aren't the Broncos?
We're a great team. You don't
And
know what
they're
you're talking
playing great.
about either.
Steelers are favorite.
Steelers favored by 1.5.
Yeah, they are. And Don, you know what else?
What?
I'm watching you on TV this morning.
Yeah.
Your hair's so blonde. When I flipped that TV on, I thought I was looking at Doris Kearns Goodwin. You know that?
I'm telling you, I don't do anything to my hair.
Please, come on. You look like Sandra Dee this morning.
All right, Fred, what's your second game? Third game.
My third game is Tampa Bay over Green Bay.
Ooh.
No way, Fred. Come on. 2 weeks ago, you said Dallas was going to beat Green Bay in Lambeau. Now you got Tampa Bay beating them?
Yeah, in Tampa Bay.
It's going to be wrong again. Green
Tampa
Bay.
Bay's playing pretty good.
Green Bay.
Green Bay favored by 3.5, says Francesa. What do you say, Warner?
Yeah, Green Bay wins that game.
So that's
Sure.
That's an idiotic pick, Fred.
Yeah.
All right, what's your fourth game, Fred?
New England over, Jacksonville over New England.
Okay, they're favored by 4. What do you think, Francesa?
I like Jacksonville also.
Warner?
I would take Jacksonville in that game. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, great. Now I got both of them.
Yeah, now you're...
You know what I heard, Mike? Well, in fact, I heard this from you.
What's that?
That the coach of the Patriots,
Yep.
having to play a team in their home stadium, like the Jaguars of that caliber, that the coach gave the Patriots 2 days off this week.
He did. Let me tell you about Pete Carroll.
All right.
Pete's more clueless than Fred or Warner, okay?
All right, Fred, what's your next pick?
My next pick is the Giants over Philadelphia. However, I have to wait till what Francesa says because, well, we know that he knows.
Fred, the guy I am friends with coaches the Jets, not the Giants.
Not the Giants, Fred.
All right.
Jesus God, what's the matter with you, Fred?
Duh.
Duh.
Well, they're both in New York, aren't they?
Yes, I'd be fine, Fred.
Yeah.
The Eagles are favored by 5. What do you think, Mike?
No wonder the Auto Body Express is in Chapter 11. I mean, I go with the Eagles.
Okay, Warner?
Yeah, Eagles are 6-1 at home, and the Giants. Everybody's heard of a prevent defense. The Giants are the only team in the league with a prevent offense.
That's a new one, Warner.
They score only one touchdown.
Oh, we haven't heard that before, Warner.
They score only one touchdown the last 9 quarters.
It's 27 after the hour. We're talking with Fred Imus, Mike Francesa, and Warner Wolf. What's your next pick, Fred?
Jets over the Colts.
Well, we know what Mike thinks.
Well, yeah, we know he knows.
I wish I knew. The
How many
Jets will win
points do you
their
think they're
next
gonna
2
shave?
games. The Jets will win this game and beat Tampa Bay. They will win their next 2 games.
The Jets are favored by 6.5. Why will the Jets? Why do you think the Jets? Well,
The Jets and Colts only won 1 game this year.
I understand that, but that's a dangerous team.
It is a dangerous team.
Yeah.
And Harbaugh's playing a lot better, isn't he, Warner?
Yeah, I would take the Colts in the 7 points.
Thank God.
And I'll tell you why.
What?
They may be 1-12,
Right.
but 7 of their losses, 6 points or less.
Ooh.
How about that? 6 points. They lost by 3-3-3 and 2-2-2.
Factor that in.
So you're talking. That's misleading that they're 1-12.
Did you know that, Mike?
Yes, but what we're talking about, Warner, is the idea is to win the game. They've won 1 out of 1 game out of 13. Warner, come back to us, please.
Fred, do you have any other picks?
Washington over Arizona.
Well, no. Why would you even pick that game?
Because a lot of people in Washington care about this game.
And a lot of people in Washington buy stuff from you, don't they, Fred? And more people buy stuff from you in Washington than in Phoenix, don't they, Fred?
Yes, they do, because the show's not in Phoenix. However, I get a lot of people coming up from Phoenix who get the show on MSNBC.
Do you care about that game, Francesa?
I'm going Cardinals. Washington's all banged up.
How about you, Warner?
You know what? It's like I'm going to give Hostetler a break in that game. Let's if he bombs out this week, that's it. I mean, he looked terrible against the Giants.
Who does he play for?
The Redskins.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's the guy now.
Didn't the last time we see him, he was in Oakland, right?
Yeah.
Well, how did he get
Last time I saw him, he was with the Giants.
What happened?
That's right.
Any other game this weekend, Mike, we ought to watch?
Yeah, Lions and Dolphins, the
Yeah,
8
I was
o'clock
gonna pick-
game. That is a
That's
big
the
game
game.
on Sunday night.
I'm picking Detroit.
I'm picking Miami.
I'm picking Detroit because Miami now has Lawrence Phillips.
Will Lawrence Phillips play this week, Mike?
I would doubt it this week.
Yeah. Well, then why sign him? Only got 3 games left.
It'd take him a couple of weeks to play him, Don.
Well,
I would think
there's only 3 weeks.
it's going to take him a couple of weeks to learn a team.
But there's only 3 weeks
only
left.
3 weeks
What the heck
left.
is
They're going
that?
to play in the playoffs this year, too, though.
Oh, very good point.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry you got this abuse from my brother.
No, I'm very happy to be on with Fred. He's one of my favorites. Fred, send me a little more of that Salzer, okay, Ben?
I will.
Fred Imus, I love you, Fred. I'll talk to you later.
Mark.
Fred and Mike Francesa and Warner Wolf all here on the Imus Morning Program.
Imus in the morning.
Do you know, this actually is, these people have been advertising with us for several years now, and I remember when they first came on, and they showed me the puzzles, and Iman's not into crossword puzzles because I can't ever do them, but Charles can.
Love it.
In fact, Charles does the New York Times crossword puzzle with a pen. How arrogant he is. And he's always usually right, you know. And these puzzles from the Crossword Club, and the number to call, by the way, to get them is 1-800-818-6222. I'll give it to you again in a minute. 818-6222. Anyway, they're a very high-quality gift. I mean, they're really neat-looking puzzles constructed by some of the best constructors in the country and edited by the legendary Mel Rosen. Each puzzle is individually printed on fine, heavy paper and come to you in a great gift box and stuff. There's a large print edition available, easy to order, $35 for an entire year. Satisfaction, 100% money-back guarantee. The Crossword Club. If you have somebody in your house who likes crossword puzzles and you don't know what to get them this. 1-800-818-6222.
Imus!
98.1 The Peak. WPEK.
At 6:31, 34 degrees. I'm Chris Allen with your upstate news headlines, and I should mention peak traffic update. Stallings Road.
It's up almost a little over 32 the other day.
Holy cow.
We are simulcast on MSNBC, which continues to demonstrate itself to be the finest cable news network on the planet, which I would love to say otherwise.
Sure, and would.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're simulcast Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Major General Charles Sweeney is the author, along with James and Marion Antonucci, of War's End, an eyewitness account of America's last atomic mission, published by Avon Books. General Sweeney flew on both the Hiroshima and Nagasaki missions that dropped atomic bombs on the nation of Japan, effectively ending World War II. The general, by the way, will be at Borders Books in White Plains tonight. Now, it's in a nice little area there, kind of upstairs. Fred and I were there. It's a great place. Y'all go see the general, talk to him. Going to do more for it. There must be a court of public opinion. And what's the matter?
I wish Mr. Hiss were still alive so that I personally could strangle him.
Also, Ross Perot's coming up, and Chubba Bubba, and Tubby Thumpin'. But it's time now for the news. And here with all that is Charles McCord. I said to Bernard, get Fred on the phone, and Charles said, why? You hear that, Fred?
I did hear that, and hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry, Fred. I was joking.
Because for some reason, here for the past, it seems like years.
You're just being ridiculous.
Every time I get my brother on the phone, he sucks.
No, I think you're confusing me with somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
Maybe you're confusing me with Rob.
I don't think so. Rob has been getting it done lately, by the way. So, and Rob's got that big Christmas show, of course, coming up, Fred, tomorrow night at Rascals in West Orange, New Jersey.
How big audience they're expecting out there?
Well, they'll be sold out.
Yeah,
well,
and that's a great room for him. I've seen him there. It's terrific. It's a terrific place to see.
I've heard his shows are great.
And he'll be at the brokerage in Belmore.
I heard it from him.
Well, he'll be at the brokerage in Belmore, Long Island on Saturday, December 13th. All right, here's Chuck with the news. Good morning, Charles.
Morning, I-Man. In the headline stories, the funerals for the 3 girls killed as a high school prayer meeting concluded Monday will take place today in West Paducah, Kentucky. The girls' families agreed to have the service televised so that the community could have a sense of participating. Christian singer Stephen Curtis Chapman will sing a couple of songs there. He's a 1981 graduate of Heath High School. Meantime, authorities say the 14-year-old boy accused in the killings has told investigators he had watched a similar shooting in a dream sequence from a movie called The Basketball Diaries. Features a teenager dreaming about gunning down students at a high school. McCracken County Sheriff Frank Augustus still believes the 14-year-old did not act alone. And if it comes to that, if in fact he didn't...
If someone knew exactly what was going to happen on that day and didn't tell authorities, then yes, they could be charged with conspiracy to murder. Maybe even complicity to murder.
Wow. Sheriff Augustus says if people were aware of the planned attack, they are as guilty as the boy who is now in custody. Former Assistant Secretary of State Richard Holbrooke wrote the memo outlining Democratic contributor Larry Lawrence's military record as a merchant marine. And when the 69-year-old Lawrence, who gave $10 million to the Democrats, died last year while serving as our ambassador to Switzerland, a military waiver was in place, and he was buried at Arlington, full military honors. The question is, did he deserve all of that? Of the 81 merchant marines buried at Arlington, Lawrence is the only one for whom there is no record of military service. He had claimed he served in the merchant marines during the Second World War, suffered a head injury when his supply ship was torpedoed. White House aides concede they never checked it out. White House Press Secretary Mike McCurry asked if Lawrence's body should be removed from Arlington if it's determined that the wartime account was fabricated. Said only this. He said, "I don't take a position on that. It would be distressing, obviously."
Well, not to Larry, though.
Larry doesn't give a darn.
Larry's dead. He's deader than Elvis.
Larry is out of here.
So, coming up this weekend, if you'll click on AutoBodyExpress.com, you will be able to see Joseph Abood modeling the bathrobes he designed.
Oh, boy.
Some of the belts he designed. And the new denim vest Fred's selling. Have you seen these photographs, Fred?
I've seen most of them, yes.
And?
They're great.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, I think they are. And they really, we're still on the test site, but they look great. I've even printed them off, and they look great, So the quality looks pretty good.
You're not troubled by some of Mr. Abood's poses?
Well, no, I guess not. I mean, I'd rather not comment.
His pouty lips.
There has been a lot of help to us, I'd rather not. Kind of dainty in some of them, I guess.
Hear that, Mr. Abood?
Hey, Fred, we were going to use you, but we needed someone who had all their teeth and all his hair. So, unfortunately, I was the only guy around left, so they used me. But the pictures did come out great. They really did come out great. I think it's terrific. Dana did a great job, by the way, as well.
Here's the thing I'm concerned about.
Yeah?
I know you're married and have a couple of kids, right?
Right.
But you just look a little precious in some of these. I mean, doesn't he, Charles?
A little bit fragile, yes.
I mean, come on. You're wearing a stonewashed denim vest.
By the way, that vest is a great fitting vest, Fred.
Yeah,
that's a terrific vest.
I know, but man,
I don't exactly look like Clint Eastwood.
No, I mean, come on.
It's daintily on a stool.
Fistful of dollars? No. Fistful of daisies? Maybe.
The next time we need a few more props. We need a few more props for the next shoot.
Yeah, I bet you'd like to sit on something else.
Hey, Fred, that's the last tie design you're ever going to see. Hey, Don, do me a favor, will you?
Yeah.
After the show, have the old general get in his plane and fly to Santa Fe and drop a bomb on the Auto Body Express.
By the way, Joe Abood will be on the Weekend Today show tomorrow morning.
Somebody may beat him to it.
A little private joke, of course. Joe Abood will be on the Weekend Today show tomorrow between 8:30 and 9 Eastern Time with some flits over there.
No. We're doing it with Jack Ford, who's terrific. By the way, one of the best-dressed guys on television.
Who's going to be wearing your clothes? Jack and Jody?
No, we've got some great models, but it'll be a lot of fun, and it's a great way to show kind of what's happening for the holidays.
You have male and female models?
Yeah, I'm just showing them men's clothes tomorrow.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be good.
And that'll be out in front of that stupid Christmas tree there at Rockefeller Center.
I think great in the Christmas season, though. I think it'd be terrific.
I used to hate, Charles and I worked in that building for 17, 18 years, and I used to hate it every holiday season when they'd stick that tree up.
And why, man?
Because I couldn't park my limo there in the
because it blocks
plaza area.
limo. Oh, jeez.
Well, all right, Joe, thanks.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Fred?
Yeah.
So we tried to suck you into hammering a boot, but...
No, I can't hammer a boot because, I mean, he's a man.
Okay.
I mean, he's capable of doing the highest quality stuff there is. So I don't want to hammer him. I need him.
He does design great stuff.
Yeah.
And Fred's got some great stuff, including the ice shirt that I have on, the burgundy one this morning, which is just great.
You know, we got that women's denim shirt that's really nice.
Yeah, Deirdre loves that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Women's sizes, you know. A lot of women wear men's denim shirts.
Yeah.
But then a lot of them also like something that's cut more for a woman.
Have you seen the one that Deirdre models?
Yes, I have.
Very good, huh?
That looks great.
Because what's going to look bad on her? But nothing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Come on.
She could wear a gunny sack and look good in it.
Sure.
Anyway, call Fred 1-800-272-1957. Auto Body Express. Great stuff for Christmas. Auto Body Express sponsored by Nikon. What else going on, Charles?
With the help of a couple of Washington area youngsters, President Clinton last night switched on the national Christmas tree.
Merry Christmas to all of you. 3.
Why would you blow up the president?
Yeah, I mean, that's not the Christmas spirit.
Illuminating the national Christmas tree.
The national, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like it.
Well, you're not in the Christmas spirit.
I didn't like the tree either. It's not a neat, it's not a good looking. It's not like the tree at Rockefeller Center.
The homo tree.
Crummy tree.
Big stupid looking. Looks like a fake tree. That's just not into it.
Well, there were others there. Lori Morgan, singer Martha Reeves, Placido Domingo, and actor Robert Prosky, who dropped by as Santa Claus. Prosky and Gregory Peck had some less than amusing moments.
Have you ever tried to take off in a sleigh loaded with about 1 billion size D batteries?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, it's terrible. You know, the reindeer hate it. And the lists, oh boy. The lists, you know, the kids used to send a letter to North Pole. Not anymore. They send email.
And it got worse. Singer Martha...
God almighty.
Well,
that was going on. That was what was going on there?
That was on the air?
You know what? Martha Reeves picked it up, though, man.
Oh, okay.
Serenading the crowd with the tune Silver Bells.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, greeting smile after smile. And above every street corner, you hear silver bells.
Now, why, man?
Because you wait so long.
Man, she sounds like she's smoking crack, doesn't she?
What was that? Darn, I wish I could have been there for that.
I mean,
ceremony.
Why? Now, who do they think these people appeal to?
I don't know.
Huh? The one they had here in New York was just absolutely dreadful. They had Katarina Witt, or whatever her name is, skating around there on the ice, and I thought, you know,
Moose Bud.
First of all, I didn't recognize her.
That's a Disney character.
And as Pat O'Brien pointed out, it looked like Tim Russert in a dress, you know, and just this moose butt out there. And then they had that dreadful Kenny G.
Yeah.
And the equally dreadful Harry Connick Jr., who sucks. Ugh, God. And then Matt Lauer, that Mr. Vanilla. And Fat Al Roker. You know, and Al's at least tolerable. But
Merry Christmas.
God, what a bunch of losers.
Parade of lamos.
And then we've got Lori Morgan, Martha Reeves, Gregory Peck, and this other guy I never heard of.
No, in Placido Domingo. Who's all right.
Yeah, God almighty. It's 18 after the hour. Here in the Imus Morning Program. You have a big tree out there at the ABX, Fred?
No, we don't. Haven't started to decorate yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What else going on, Jack?
Going to be a busy birthday for Strom Thurmond, man. The longest-serving and oldest United States Senator turns 95 and will be guest of honor at a string of events back home in South Carolina. Thurmond will be 101 when his term runs out and says he does not plan to run again this time. Yesterday, Thurmond announced that he will step down as chairman of the Senate Armed Service Committee after next year.
It's also Calvin Trillin's birthday today.
All right.
Mr. Trillin is 62.
Happy birthday, Cal.
You don't seem like you even care about it.
Happy birthday, Cal, man.
Good old Cal on talk about the tic-tac-toe chicken thing again. So
I love it.
Hey, Fred, did you hear General Patton and Al Gore?
Yes, I did.
I guess there'd be no reason to play it again then, huh?
Well, no, I could listen to it again.
Oh, okay, here it is. Right here now, Imus in Washington, Senior Military Affairs Advisor, the late General George S. Patton.
At ease, as you were, maggots. We'll begin today's briefing.
Excuse me. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I will bet you $15,000.
No, it's not about me.
No,
it's not about me.
Don, double or nothing?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to answer him. I'm not betting.
These fluids are classified into two major groups, neurotoxic and hemotoxic. D. What are venoms? One wrong.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
You know something? I had never watched Jeopardy until Charles called me on the phone. He said, quick, guess who's on Jeopardy? Which, by the way, you had already taped it when you were here before and decided not to share that information with us.
But you know who I shared it with?
No.
My father. And what did he do? He went to the American Legion and made a killing.
He did?
Yeah, of course. I bet you $50 it's John Calhoun. Final Jeopardy. The kid's going to pull it out. You watch.
Imus in the morning.
98.1 The Peak.
Muggsy Bogues.
When you terminate one's contract and you take food off their table and you got kids to provide for, that's very difficult to swallow.
Oh, and the guy makes $8 million. He's only got $8 million. Take food off the table. You can't eat for $8 million? Meanwhile, on the other side of the fence, New Jersey Nets outstanding rebounder Jason Williams.
Let's put your hands on anybody. Me and Cal have problems, and you have problems. Everybody's gonna have problems with their boys. You just can't beat them up. Sometimes you like to beat them up or choke them, but you just can't do that.
That's what Bernard, Charles, and Lou say every morning.
You can't do that. You wanna?
Well, I guess we'll all see just how good Astros 19-game winner Darryl Kyle really is.
Yeah, we'll see.
He signed with the Colorado Rockies, so instead of spacious Astrodome, he'll play half his games at cozy Coors Field, where the ball flies out of the park.
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, Coach Jerry Manuel of the Marlins, a 150 career hitter, is the new manager of the White Sox.
From what I hear, Albert Bell is a tremendously hard-working individual. I am looking forward to meeting Albert Bell.
Albert Bell don't want to meet you. Do you know your barber? Dean Inman, a Green Bay Packer fan, happened to be visiting Minneapolis.
What the hell are you talking about?
He's drunk.
Oh, this is a good story.
Okay, go ahead.
Friday night early for Warner.
Dean
Pinot Grigio.
Who's your barber?
Yeah, 5 o'clock comes early, then.
What day is it?
Go ahead.
Dean Inman, a Green Bay Packer fan, happened to be visiting Minneapolis, went in for a haircut.
Right.
Inman began criticizing Vikings 350-pound offensive tackle Corey Stringer, calling him a walking refrigerator. As fate would have it, the barber was Stringer's first cousin. The barber then gave Inman a reverse mohawk haircut, cutting his hair right down the middle.
You did?
Yeah.
I love it.
College ball last night. Do you know your barber?
Yeah.
College ball last night.
Sleep with them.
If you took Emporia State and 51,
No.
you lost.
Oh, my God.
Kansas 102, Emporia State 50.
Jeez.
Emporia State, Food Emporium would have played better. For Imus of the Morning Sports, this is Warner Wolf.
Get out of the studio.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it.
Imus in the morning.
Know why men don't use electric razors?
Relco holiday gift giveaway. Your chance to. All right, here now in the Imus in the Morning program, Chubba Bubba with Chubby Something.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. How will they remember me? What is my legacy? The Vince Foster deal, the Mike Espy deal, the Cisnero deal, the Dick Morris deal, the debacle over national health care, in a hotel with Paula in my underwear. Oh, Billy boy, Billy boy, Billy boy. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. How will they remember me? What is my legacy? The crooked land deal, the crooked penis deal, the Charlie Tree deal, the Johnny Wang deal, missing bill and records found in the book room, booking overnights in the Lincoln bedroom. Don't cry for me, Janet Reno. Independent counsel, I get the Notting Hill deal, the Two McDougal deal, the saxophone deal, a legal loan deal, building a bridge to the 21st century, testifying and committing the perjury, the Vince Foster deal, the Mike Espy deal, the Cisneros deal, the Dick Morris deal, the debacle over national health care, in a hotel with Paula in my underwear, the crooked land deal, the crooked penis deal, the Charlie Tree deal, the Johnny Wang deal, missing bill and records found in the book room, booking overnights in the Lincoln bedroom, the Notting Hill deal, the Two McDougal deal, the saxophone deal, the legal loan deal, building a bridge to the 21st
Chubby Chumpin' here on the Imus of the Morning program. It's 18 till the hour, and here's Dennis from Feeding Hills, Massachusetts. Good morning, Dennis.
Morning, I'm in.
What was the name of General Sweeney's plane?
Boxcar.
How'd you know that?
I've known it for years.
Yeah?
Did a lot of reading on World War II.
I'm very distressed that you that you know that, and now you've won this $1,000.
Wonderful.
Congratulations for doing that.
Thank you.
You also have won a specially designed and numbered Norelco Turquoise Buffalo Reflex Action Razor.
Super.
And we're going to fire it all off to you.
All
you ever
right.
shave with one of these things?
Yes, actually, I do.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What do you do up there in Feeding Hills?
I actually am an environmental chemist.
Oh, yeah, sure. Charles and I are going to go over. Charles and I will be performing heart and lung surgery with Dr. Peter Guider today over at Cornell Medical Center, assisting Dr. Guider.
Yes, there you go.
And later on, we'll be delivering several children.
Absolutely.
Then performing hand surgery with Dr. Lloyd Hoffman in the afternoon. So, Dennis?
Yes.
Congratulations. What's your favorite radio station?
WFAN, no doubt.
You're listening to FAN in Feeding Hills?
Absolutely.
Wow. So it must be near the border or something, huh?
Well, actually, yeah, it's about 5 miles from Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Because this is a 50,000-watt clear channel radio station.
Absolutely.
At the low end of the dial, which means it booms all over North America.
You got to get a station up here in Western Mass, I'm in.
I thought we did have. Mr. Carlin's book is called Brain Dropping. It's probably Hyperion.
There's two big sections in the book of small, short items, like 5-6 lines or less.
People who should be phased out.
Yeah.
It's a great one. Guys who always harmonize the last few notes of Happy Birthday.
Yeah. Don't you hate this?
Yeah.
It's predictable. You look, you can tell which kind of guy. He's always a tall guy.
It is?
Because he's standing above everyone else. I think he thinks he has to do something different about it.
Man who proposed marriage on a giant TV screen at a sports stadium.
I had one last night. Last night at the stadium. I thought, here's a guy who didn't read the book.
Your radio sounds funny in the morning. You're listening to Imus in the morning.
So were you happy with the result of the Tim McVeigh thing? Or?
I'll tell you. Not entirely.
Really?
First of all, it's his first offense. A guy like this, sometimes all he needs is a good talking to. You sit him down and you say, listen, Tim, not funny.
98.1 The Peak. WPEK.
All right. Come clean. The reason you bought the car you drive is because it's dependable yet sporty. Your touring sedan gives you satisfaction and dependability combined with a great handling and style of a performance car. Well, Uniroyal has designed a tire that complements all the advantages of your touring sedan. Introducing the Uniroyal Tiger Paw Touring TR, now at Welborn Tire and Automotive. This tire combines the comfort of a passenger tire with the handling of a performance tire. DuraShield construction makes it durable. Uniroyal brand makes it dependable. Welborn Tire and Automotive makes it available. Discover the touring tire that's made for your car. Come to Welburn Tire and Automotive, your Uniroyal tire dealer at 302 North McDuffie Street in Anderson. Welburn Tire and Automotive is your choice for the best prices on the new Uniroyal Tiger Paw Touring TR tires. Uniroyal Tires, driving dependability home.
You've been nice all year long, so Santa's going to bring you that new computer.
Needs are met.
DJ Scott Muni, Scotzo.
Oh, Tannenhouse, Sam Tannenhouse, forgive me if I whine, man. But Tannenhouse, Sam Tannenhouse, you fascinate the eye, man. You can't believe how tedious is droning on about Alger Hiss. Sam Tannenhouse, call Random House, your next book's on consign, man. You know, Fats, after listening to you talk about Whittaker Chambers for so long, I actually find myself wishing he were still alive, just so I could have the satisfaction of killing him myself. What the hell is the deal with this Rupert Pupkin-like obsession of yours with that fat commie homo from the 50s? Squeaky Fromm wasn't this devoted to Charlie Manson. John Hinckley wasn't this infatuated with Jodie Foster. And you know, he had a thing for a book about a guy from the 50s, except his wasn't Whittaker Chambers, it was Holden Caulfield. Never in my life have I ever seen someone so fixated on something so lame. You're like one of those mouth-breathing internet geeks who show up at Star Trek conventions wearing those plastic pointy ears. Do you think anybody else gives a about what kind of typewriter Alger Hiss had? Or what the serial number was? The FBI didn't care that much about Ted Kaczynski's typewriter. And speaking of them, I would have thought, given his wardrobe choice, that the fat homo you'd really have the morbid fascination with would have been J. Edgar Hoover, considering your experience in the Marines with guys who like to wear high heels and a garter belt with their chiffon dress blues. But Whittaker Chambers taking Nixon back to the farm to show him what he had stuffed in a pumpkin, that's only interesting in that he wasn't trying to stuff his zucchini in Nixon's pumpkin. I've heard you raving about books before. The Amelia Earhart thing springs to mind. And although by the time you were done humping it, I couldn't have been happier her plane went down, at least I didn't feel like your enthusiasm was dangerous. But on this Tannenhouse deal, you're so far gone that if he just said the word, you'd chug a Dixie cup of Jim Jones-flavored Kool-Aid in a heartbeat. Wait a minute. Maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing after all.
Scott Muni here on the Imus Morning program. Well, it took a while to digest that. It was a pretty harsh assessment there.
Yes, it was.
Oh, Scotzo.
God.
Scott Muni soon celebrating 30 years playing rock and roll records on the radio here in New York City. I guess perhaps all of that on WNEW-FM, which is a classic rock station, I guess, here in New York City.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Ambiguous, yeah.
Well, they keep changing their format, but I guess they've got it straightened out here lately. But I'm just not sure. As you might as well know, that during the November sweeps, according to our guy John Carmody in the Washington Post, the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather finished only 1/10 of a ratings point, or by a margin of just 98,000 TV homes, behind second place ABC World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, and a half point behind front-running NBC's Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Wow.
NBC did an 8.9, compared with an 8.5 for ABC and an 8.4 for CBS. Now, there was a time when CBS was about sometimes almost 2 points behind NBC or ABC, whoever was in first place.
Which is enormous in that particular...
Yes, it's an enormous...
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, but it's just...
Well, it means a lot, psychologically.
Right.
It affects them dramatically. But this represents a dramatic resurgence in the fortunes of the people at CBS News. And guess who's going to be here Tuesday? Dan Rather.
Wow, all right.
Hard News is working on, man. Tamp him up solid and all that old jive he does. Is he going to come over here, or are we just going to talk to him?
Whatever the I-Man wants. We haven't determined that yet.
Well, you know, I prefer him on the phone, but whatever.
All right.
Frank Rich on Monday. I love Frank. Op-ed page, New York Times. Joe Queenan. Love Joe. Nut Bernadette Castro, New York State Parks Commissioner. And she'll be in here, and we'll get to look at her new mush here and see what she looks like.
Okay.
See how that new goatee's working out.
And we might smear on some of that Chantel wrinkle cream on her.
Oh, absolutely. Good idea.
See what that thing's all about.
Darn right.
On Face the Nation this week, this Sunday, we've got John Glenn and Orrin.
Okay. Now.
So.
Well, I reckon I've been reading the newspaper a lot more than I used to. I can't understand what makes one story more important than another. Like I seen this headline on the front page is what said Latrell Sprewell fired. Then way back in the paper, one what said Janet Reno promises broad probe. Seemed to me that the Attorney General coming out to lesbians much bigger story than some basketball player getting his contract terminated.
Shut up.
I guess the paper's making a big deal out of this Latrell thing, because he lost his $32 million for playing basketball on account of he attacked his coach. Latrell said he didn't like that PJ feller yelling at him all the time, so that's why he threatened to kill him. Seemed to me if someone's willing to give you $32 million to play basketball, you could stand getting yelled at from time to time. Matter of fact, if somebody was giving me $32 million, not only would I let him yell at me, I figured I'd even let him threaten to kill me. Guess it all boils down to knowing your place on the food chain. You just can't be a threatening your boss. Like that Janet Reno. She knows her place. That's why she didn't call for that independent counsel. She's smart enough to realize that if she did something that would get her boss in trouble, she'd end up losing a whole lot more than just her contract. She remembers what happened when that Vince Foster had something on the president that would have got him in trouble.
Yeah.
So she knows that if she threatened the president with some kind of investigation, she wouldn't just get suspended. He'd take her to the park and kill her.
Oh, it's crying time again. You're gonna leave me. I can see that far away look in your eye. I can tell by the way you hold me, darling, that it won't be long before it's crying time.
Imus in the morning. 98.1 The Peak.
Publishing a book of an anthology of many of his theater reviews, which were fabulous. I mean, that's where the
views. I do feel your message of family and relational obligation.
He's extending himself even to do this thing.
My brother's appearing on behalf of your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers because he and Francesa and Warner picked a bunch of football games on Friday, and my brother was wrong on 5 of them, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
The Sound of Music, that starts with a T.
There you go. And you said he had nothing.
Did you get an answer, Bernard?
I got The River and the Moose Murders.
No, it's
no.
And the rest of the idiots.
Out loud.
No, it was called. Well, I don't know.
I can't recall.
It's not a the, you idiots.
It's a T. Can't argue with that.
Bastards. What are you laughing about, Lou?
That sounds so stupid. And you're yelling at them for giving you.
Well, you bastards, don't you? Some of you bastards. There's 15 million of it. What doesn't one of you know? God Almighty. It's irritating. It's not Howard Stern's audience. People are supposed to have some sense here. Twin cities.
City of Angels.
No, City of Angels, you idiot.
No, Frank Rich. Sorry, Frank, that's not right.
No, it's not. It wasn't City of Angels.
To call you an idiot, Mr.
It was before City of Angels. It was
before City of Angels.
The thing Larry Gelbart did.
Larry Gelbart did it. Can I put Frank up?
Yeah.
Stand by for this.
Good morning,
5.
Mr. Rich.
Yeah, it's probably me to say it is City of Angels.
That's what I thought.
Larry Gelbart wrote it. Kinky Friedman wrote a
okay.
That's
what I told
idiot.
You moron. Well, what was the thing?
Damn it.
Well, you're a moron.
What was the other thing that... the other thing you were talking about?
Bastards.
The other thing I was talking about...
Not City of Angels, but it had angels in it. Angels in America.
Angels in America.
Okay, that's why I got confused.
Right. There were a couple of years of...
God. I apologize.
No, it was like a hangnail. It was driving me crazy to hear you struggling. It was definitely a City of Angels.
Thank you, Mr. Rich.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rich.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rich. Frank Rich here in the Iverson Morning Program. Well, it was City of Angels, yes.
Very good, Chuck.
What did I tell you?
Oh, man.
No, not City of Angels. Idiots.
You're
Oh, okay. I apologize. I was wrong.
Has a T in it.
I apologize. I apologize to you. Listening to the radio, I'm sorry I swore at you and called you an idiot. It was City of Angels. That's what it was. Well, I remember. I mean, it all rode on whether Frank liked it or not. Remember that?
Yeah, well, of course. As did everything during his tenure.
So now he's telling us he changed his mind. Anyway.
Oh,
was it the City of Angels?
Yes.
Yes, Fred.
What?
Anyway, my brother, hey, Fred, all the new stuff, all of your new products
Yes.
are up on the webpage.
Yes.
And you can click on it, all the new product menu up and running, Autobody Express, all one word.com. And Deidre models a lot of the stuff for us, graciously agreed to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also, Joseph Abboud graciously agreed to do the same.
Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures of Mr. Abboud, Fred?
Oh, man, isn't that scary?
He's about to combustibly go on fire.
I mean, I don't think you can have Joseph Abboud wearing one of these denim vests that are kind of a macho situation.
What was he sitting on, a butt plug?
Wait a minute. We're not looking for that.
That's
not what we're looking for,
Why do
Fred.
we have these 10 o'clock meetings?
We can't go from Frank Rich to that.
I'm being censored by MSNBC.
Pardon me?
I'm being censored by MSNBC.
Why?
Because I turned the rest of my turkey over to the bear.
Right.
And he's not being very nice with the turkey.
Oh, I see. I see. I think we have a picture of it now.
But wait a minute. Maybe he's being very nice to the turkey. What are you talking about?
Yeah, maybe he loves that turkey.
Go, baby.
It's 13 after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. So anyway, so that's the big news this morning. Frank Rich and Maureen Dowd. It's idiotic to have these two people. I don't care what Frank says. He's wrong.
No, he is wrong about that.
He's definitely wrong
about the Saturday.
People he knows that don't have anything to do, and they're all sitting around, sipping cappuccino or drinking their Bloody Marys on Saturday.
Right.
Go, baby.
And they have no jobs or anything. And of course they can read the New York Times, but nobody else has time to read
No
it.
real people.
No, not people like Chuck and I. We don't have
like the
time.
Iron Man.
We have things. We have errands to run.
Saturday's a work day. Come on.
That's exactly right. You have to go to the laundry. You have to go to cleaners. At the hardware store.
Absolutely.
Check with Greg at Spick and Span.
Sure.
Call.
Fix the boiler.
That's exactly right.
Fix the boiler.
Clean out the
I had to walk down to the drugstore yesterday, buy some gum.
Look at that.
So look at that. So a lot of things had to be done.
Hey, look, there's the Iron-Man.
It's 14.
I think he's going to the liquor store.
Hey, look, there's the Iron-Man.
Baba Booey.
It's 14 after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. So,
my picks weren't very good.
No, they
the
weren't.
Jets are over with. I mean, you can only pump up a team so much.
Yes.
The coach can only pump a team up so much.
Yeah.
And this time of year, the cream rises to the top.
Yeah.
The Jets will not win another game.
No, they won't.
They'll go 1-15 next year. I mean, you can pump them up so much, they
won't go 1-15 next year. They'll
do better.
They'll do better. He'll turn that into a winning franchise, but it's over this year.
Then he's got to get somebody who wants to play. Then.
Well, he will. Talking about Bill Parcells. I was reading the paper Saturday. Chris Sims, who is the son of Phil Sims, kid's 16 years old. He's already 6'4", 220 pounds.
Yeah.
Whoa. Plays quarterback for the Ramapo High School football team. He's a junior, 16 years old. And they won something, the state championship or something.
He's a talented.
And his dad is terrific on television.
Really is, isn't he?
He's fabulous. Yeah. He's a natural. Mm-hmm. Phil Sims, former quarterback, a great quarterback. Tough guy, too. Doesn't look like a tough guy, but man.
Believe me, yeah.
He was.
Jeez.
And he was I used to love to watch him drop back and throw the football.
Yeah. And miss him.
But now he works for NBC. No, he wasn't missing them.
Oh, I said, and we miss him.
And the receiver dropped the ball.
No, we miss him.
Oh, okay. And he now works for NBC Sports as a football announcer. And he does a jet show with Bill Parcells, in which he's great.
Yep, following in OJ's footsteps. Former player makes good at NBC.
What kind of shoes he wears?
I don't know, but I don't think Phil Simms, you can describe Phil Simms as following, and that's idiotic.
Let's get some good photos of Phil Simms' shoes now. Let's not wait. Let's really find out what kind of shoes he's wearing.
Let's learn from our mistakes.
That's exactly right.
Get those gloves that he wears.
That's Lynn Swan, the rest of them.
Let's find out the gloves, the make of the gloves.
Put them on file.
Let's get to, that's a very good idea, Fred. Let's get the photos now. It is 17 after the hour. Oh, that's a funny idea, Fred. Let's get the photographs now.
Oh, man.
All right, what's going on, Chuck?
God. Well, I didn't know what you were 17
We've
minutes
got
after
plenty
the
of
hour,
time.
man.
We can do what we want. We have plenty of time.
You are the I-Man.
Yeah, we can do what the hell we want.
All righty. Investigators are still trying to develop more information in the crash of TWA Flight 800, I-Man. Could you get more of a banana in your mouth at once? Is it possible?
Have you ever seen Keith Olbermann throw a piece at the end of his hideous show, the big show on MSNBC?
Yes.
He throws a piece of paper?
At the camera, yes.
Have you seen the way he throws it?
Yes, I have.
He throws it like this.
I have seen that.
Like a mow.
I mean, what is that?
I don't know. He doesn't have any, it's disturbing.
No.
He should not do that.
No.
Because it calls into question, frankly,
Here's a guy doing sports on ESPN. Have you ever seen that, Fred?
Yes, I have.
And?
His news or the sports?
The way he throws a piece of paper.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, yeah. You know what he should do? He should throw that paper before he starts a newscast.
Throw his resignation at the camera.
No, we like Keith. He's fine. It's 19 after the hour. So how are things out at the Autobody Express, Fred?
Well, just staying away from the windows.
You are? Yeah. How were things there this weekend?
Oh, they were fine.
It's like the Alamo.
It's got blackout curtains like in World War II. Pulls down.
You know what's weird? We're not going to go into detail what we're talking. If you don't know what we're talking about, we're not going to go into it.
No, we're not.
You don't need to know. It's tedious. But business has actually increased, as weird as that is. Hasn't it, Fred?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, stupid. But my brother's a good person, and it's just he said something he shouldn't have said, and he's apologized for it. But I mean, my brother is not a bad person, really. In fact, he's a great person.
Yep, agreed.
So he's got a great heart, and everybody makes a mistake, and he made one, and he said he was sorry, and let's move on.
Sure.
It is 20 minutes, just like his appearances on the program.
I like Dallas tonight. I'll tell you what's going to happen. If Dallas is behind in the third quarter,
yes,
Jerry Jones and Switzer will get in a fist fight. Here's what I'm urging now: more players to turn on the coaches. I mean, if Switzer's not making the right calls, the players should just jump him right there on the sidelines and just knock the hell out of him.
Let me tell you something. To be serious, I don't think that a player. Well, I don't know what I think. But I know one thing. I wouldn't let P.J. Carlissimo would not scream at me about anything, nor would anybody else. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have, and I've never had, in the 25 years I've been doing this, a program director or a general manager scream at me about anything. Because if they did, I'd punch them in the mouth.
There's the thing. Like, if that's his coaching style to scream at the players, then the law of averages tells you that eventually he's going to run into a player that doesn't like that.
Absolutely.
And so, and besides that penalty is way too stiff for him. A year off that's way too severe.
Here's the only thing.
Give him a couple games off.
Here's the only thing I have a problem with.
What?
The guy came back 15 minutes later.
And still didn't finish the job. still didn't do it.
Still couldn't get it. But here's something else. All right, here's what I want to do. This is a demonstration for everybody in this country listening to this program, watching it, listening. He started to choke. Latrell Sprewell started to choke P.J. Carlissimo, and he choked him for 15 seconds before anybody did anything. All right, I'm going to now wait 15 seconds, beginning now. 5 seconds. Still choking him. 10 seconds. 15 seconds. That's how long he choked him before anybody did anything. It's like in one of those deals where, prisoners attack a guard I saw this analogy drawn in some column. Where the prisoners are attacking a guard and everybody just kind of stands around, doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Be like if Lou was choking you.
That's a long time.
Minutes.
I'm going to get a sandwich.
That's a long time to choke somebody, isn't it?
Absolutely. You can do serious damage. I mean,
yeah, see you Monday.
Right. I mean, it didn't take O.J. Simpson too much longer than that to kill Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown. Not much longer than that.
It's a long time.
15 seconds is a long time to choke somebody.
To be sitting there strangling somebody.
It wasn't long enough. He had to come back.
Well, I know. All right, it's 23 after the hour. We'll talk more with Fred and Brian, Ross Perot, other stuff. Have more news, all that coming up. All right.
On July the 2nd, 1953, I was serving time for armed robbery. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I was sleeping in my cell. I heard a whistle blow, then I heard somebody yell.
Imus in the morning. 98.1 The Peak. W.
Was in decent coverage, but you can't describe the cat.
Steelers upset the Broncos. Good morning. Mike Greenwood Sports. That's the great Myron Cope on WTAE in Pittsburgh. The sportscast sponsored by CD Now, the world's largest music store at cdnow.com. Steelers knocked off the mighty Broncos 35-24, but Denver quarterback John Elway looked at the positives.
Hopefully this brings everybody back down to earth and we can realize that we got to go out and play well.
Broncos didn't think they had to play well, but now they do as they head into the home stretch, tied for first with the Kansas City Chiefs, who also won. Jets didn't play well. They were awful. 22-14 loss to the Colts. Bill Parcells upset at the post-game press conference, broadcast live on the Jets radio network with game analyst Dave Jennings.
Well, we'll have to wait because here comes Bill Parcells right now as he approaches the podium, so I'll get back to that in a second. Here's Bill Parcells.
That was a very disappointing performance. I'm quite embarrassed. Needless to say, to put a team on the field that behaves the way we behave today, I don't have any excuses except we really stunk. That's all.
Bill, where do you go from here?
Well, we go to next week, Dave.
Where do you go from here? I get Dave Jennings in here so I can actually physically attack him.
Absolutely. It's fist fight time.
Where do you go from here? God, no wonder these coaches and players don't want to answer these questions.
Hate him. Must want to shoot him.
Now, where do you go from here? Well,
goes home and has some dinner.
Yeah, that's right.
Goes to Mickey D's.
Gets together with Francesa, and they go eat. They go eat themselves. They
go eat.
Well, Breen did the game on NBC TV. What's the matter with them?
Their offense is horrible.
Yeah.
They have no offensive line. Neil O'Donnell has lost his confidence, and even the defense played poorly yesterday. Special teams was okay.
What else is there?
What's the deal with Foley?
Foley might not play the rest of the regular season. He maintains that he's ready to play, but the doctors haven't given him the okay yet.
Well, man, somebody doesn't know what's going on because the Jets were favored by 6.5. And my brother picked. Well, Fred picked him. Fred, God.
I won't pick him the rest of the year.
Good. You shouldn't have picked him on Friday.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You were doing your job.
Yeah, you picked you shouldn't have picked the Lions last night.
Lions almost won that game.
Never mind. Go ahead, Mike.
And of course, it got ugly at Giant Stadium. The fans booing and saying some ugly things to the Jet players as they were sitting behind the bench. Cornerback Otis Smith wasn't pleased with the fans' reaction.
The only thing I don't like what people would say about a player or myself is that player sucks. Because I don't go on to somebody else's job and say you suck at your job. Maybe I'm not doing the job I'm supposed to be doing or as well as I could be doing it, but I'm out there working hard, and for a person to say you sucks, I think that's very degrading.
But you do suck. Here's the thing.
You suck big time.
You suck.
Otis.
You can't suck enough, Otis.
You should be working in an Otis elevator, manning the handle.
That's exactly right. You don't know how much you suck. You suck more than it's capable to put into words. It's beyond anybody's ability to describe it, right, Charles?
It's indescribable.
That's how much you suck. And nobody is inviting you to come to their job and charging you admission to get in. You promising to win. No, you suck. You don't know how much you suck.
Don't suck. It won't happen.
You
man.
suck. Your whole family sucks.
Your mama sucks.
Your mama sucks. Your dog sucks.
Your mama's mama sucks.
Your mama's mama sucks. Your mama's friends suck.
Their mamas suck.
Everybody lives on your street sucks.
You can believe that.
Yeah. Your dog sucks. Your cat sucks. Your fish sucks. You suck.
And your team sucks.
Your coach sucks. Francesa sucks.
And you can't suck enough.
You can't suck
And your
enough.
boyfriend sucks.
Yeah.
Poor Otis.
Brother.
Get him out.
Game last night.
Let me hear Otis again. I want to hear this.
That is degrading.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like what people would say about a player or myself is that player sucks. Because I don't go to somebody else's job and say you suck at your job. Maybe I'm not doing the job I'm supposed to be doing or as well as I could be doing it, but I'm out there working hard, and for a person to say you sucks, I think that's very degrading.
Well, you do suck.
You sucks.
Yeah, you sucks. That's what,
You can't suck enough.
you can't sucks enough.
Hey, Otis, you suck, Otis.
What else are they saying to him, Brain? Could you hear him? Or?
No, I couldn't hear him.
Okay.
But it was ugly.
Send it out to Brain, too.
No, that was last week in Foxborough. Game last night. Dolphins get a
You should
42-yard
have heard
field goal.
Breen. I wish we had a cut of Breen screaming when the Jets scored these two meaningless touchdowns.
Well, the second one wasn't meaningless. The first one certainly was, but all of a sudden they were still alive.
And the guy who works with Breen is James Lofton. By the way, let's make sure we got some clear photographs of his shoes and everything. This guy is horrible.
He sucks too.
Deidre asked me, she said, what makes a good announcer? I mean, how do you tell, which I thought was a great question. But individually, if you get to thinking about it, there aren't any really great individual announcers. Well, I guess there are a few that are pretty good, but I've always thought Cricky was. I always thought Cricky is one of the best football announcers ever.
Yep.
Bingo.
But I don't know. He's not really on the A team, is he? He's just like
personal problems.
Possibly. Yeah.
Well, Keith Jackson's what makes a great announcer.
Okay, Keith Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Nobody better on college football.
Pat Summerall, I think, is now that he's sober.
He's all right.
He's good. But it's usually teams. Put a couple of guys together. So I think Bob Greasy by himself would be just, it's like having gum surgery. But, Al Michaels is good, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yep. Clyde Frazier.
Yeah, Walt.
Walt Frazier, baby.
And Breen has the potential to be, he has the potential to be very good, but not with this guy he's working with. This guy he's working with holding him back.
I think he's terrific.
Well, Breen, you're the biggest suck-up, and you're the biggest...
What's he supposed to say about his partner, though? Come on.
He's supposed to...
he doesn't believe that, but he's got to say?
I mean, Lofton's great.
No, because he tells me that off the air, too. He thinks she's great. No, I think Breen actually does think it. What's his...
Breen's holding Lofton back, man. Lofton's great, man. He just... you can tell he's ready to come up with a great line, and then Breen interrupts him. I mean, he's working against him. He's holding Lofton back.
I'll tell you, another kid that's pretty good is Kenny Albert.
Yeah, very. I like Kenny Albert a lot, in fact.
But Iron Eagle... horrible. Horrible. That's screaming going on. Shut up.
Can you believe that?
Shut up. Anyway.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Get out.
Oh, no. Please stay.
Oh, no. Please hang on the phone, Fred, and kill the show the rest of the day. It's 23. I love you, kind of.
I love you.
23 to Leo. Our brain continues.
Game tonight. Two teams barely alive for the playoffs. Cowboys and Panthers. Carolina quarterback Kerry Collins not afraid of Dallas.
They put their pants on the same way, and you hear that a lot. But they're going to have some big muscles going in those pants. But we have some big, we have some big muscles in our pants too.
Should be quite a matchup.
Yeah, did you hear that?
Is this ice dancing or?
We have some big muscles in our pants too. I bet you got one big muscle in your butt.
What do you?
That's not what we're looking for.
Excuse me?
Wait a minute.
What?
Where does that come from?
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
What are you thinking about in your idle time?
I'm sorry. I
You
apologize.
got to use some sense here,
Jeez,
damn it.
let's think a little bit. Come on.
Finally, on to the NBA. What's wrong with the New York Knicks? Let's ask Coach Jeff Van Gundy.
We do not get it. We do not get it.
They didn't get it last night, beaten badly by the Sixers in Philadelphia.
I happen to see this guy's a nice guy, Jeff Van Gundy, I think.
Yeah,
you know.
Good guy.
He seems like he's a decent guy.
Sure.
But, I mean, I'm not. That was so disingenuous, that rap that he tried to run by us last night about because he's afraid of his players. Well, you don't want to get punched out and choked. But he's got the John Starks, and there's no two bigger punks in basketball than John Starks. And Patrick Ewing, I don't think is. I think he's a jerk. There might not have been some of these other. There's just a bunch of thugs on that team, as well as some of these other teams. But for the coach to stand up there and talk for 6 minutes about what a disgraceful job he's doing, and he just went on and on about it.
Too much.
Oversold it, and so
exactly,
kind of like an Alger Hiss deal. We just denied everything, and so then you knew that couldn't be true.
Maybe the players threatened him.
I don't know, but I mean, it's not to try to tell people, anybody who's going to watch a basketball press conference, by the way, either is like me and they have no life, or I just been chastised by my wife to please shut up about the Cuban Missile Crisis and to get over it. It happened, as she pointed out to me, before she was born, and she wasn't interested in how I thought that deal went down. Did God just get over it?
Just stop.
Just stop. But for the coach of the Knicks, and you just went on and on about, what a disgraceful job he thought he was doing and how it was all his fault.
Too much.
Well, that's preposterous.
Too much. Oversold it. You're right.
The players are it's a horrible team. They're horrible people. It's a horrible team. They're just horrid people.
They suck.
They really suck. They're just awful. They're
stupid.
And stupid and awful, the Knicks. And people who go to those games, like my friend Tom Brokaw and some of these other people, but believe me, they're not. They go for a complete. It's like people who think Alger Hiss is innocent. They don't think he's innocent based on the evidence. It's for some other reason. So they go to these Knicks games for a completely. There's no loyalty to this team. The team is horrible. They're horrible people. They're awful people. They're terrible, awful people.
Are they reprobate side, man?
Yes, they're just awful people. 20 minutes to lay on it. Awful. How'd I hate them? I wouldn't go to a Knick game for $10 million. Yeah, I would. Of course I would.
$10 million. Of course you would.
$10 million. Of course I would.
You go for $1 million. Probably.
No, I wouldn't.
$1 million wouldn't get it?
I would not
Would not
go.
get you in the place? $1 million?
Tax-free?
Absolutely.
I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, of course I have a price for everything.
Well,
what are you talking
certainly.
about?
All
What are you,
right.
crazy?
But it would take $1 million.
Yes. I don't mean to drag Breen into this because...
Give me in this call is to tell you, stop dwelling on the garbage.
Imus in the morning. 98.1 The Peak. WPEK.
Now, clinging by his fingernails to a nearly vanished national notability, America's net worth nut, populist reformer H. Ross Perot.
A weed in your grassroots, Amos. Heard your general boy here a couple of days ago, that Patton feller, ragging on Al Gore. Well, let me just give you the RW on that one, okay?
RW.
Real world, Amos. I never heard anything so outrageous in all my life. Making the vice president of the United States, boy who's one pecker length away from the presidency, sound like a cheap, opportunistic, backstabbing, bottom-feeding phony. What are you thinking about?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we did go too far.
Too far? You didn't go far enough. Time to wake up and smell the charlatan, Amos. We're talking about Albert Gore, not some socially redeemable entity of some sort, for crying out loud. Hello, I said Al Gore. You know what the difference is between Al Gore and Charlie Manson?
No.
See what I'm saying? Now you're catching on. Boy's got the evil eye, Amos. There ain't no way of telling what he's had a hand in.
Got a couple of charts on it, though. Can you see these?
Sure.
Can I get a camera shot right here? Okay. This bar graph down this way, this here is unsolved mysteries of recent vintage.
Right.
And this line running out this way, this is the unknown whereabouts of Al Gore when all this other crap was going on. Hired my own investigators, Amos.
Oh, great.
Got the conclusions. Hope you're sitting down. I'll nutshell this for you. We now have reason to believe that Al Gore not only made fundraising phone calls out of his federal offices, but look at this. You see here?
Yeah.
He rattled that baby up there in Boston and laid it off on that limey girl. Run poor old Princess Diana's car into that tunnel pillar, brought down Flight 800, and blew up the Challenger. And here's your open-ended one. Grassy Knoll, Dallas, Texas. Found them cigarette butts behind that fence, ran DNA on them. Al Gore. Message to OJ. You can stop searching, son. Call 911 and tell them the boy you've been looking for is sitting in the office of the Vice President of the United States. It's the one with a little sign on it that says, the buck don't stop here, but it is laundered here. And right there's your 11 o'clock soundbite, Amos. Much obliged for having me on your show.
Ross Perot here on the Imus in the Morning program. It's 7 minutes after the hour. Coming up, a chance for you to win $1,000 in cash, plus a Norelco Reflex Action Razor, specially designed numbered one from the Turquoise Buffalo situation from the Auto Body Express. All that just ahead if you can answer the following question. What kinds of missiles did we have in Turkey that apparently, allegedly, John Kennedy and Robert Kennedy made a deal with Nikita Khrushchev to take out in exchange for the Russians removing the missiles from Cuba, something that we were not told at the time and that may or may not be true now. Bernard and Dana will be calling Michael Beschloss today so that we can get to the bottom of this. 1-800-370-IMUS, and we'll talk to you about it. Charles has the news, and he's going to read it to you now. Good morning, Chuck.
Ross Perot just talking about Al Gore. Al Gore's in the